Welcome to Loanmark. I'm Paul.
And I'm Keith.
And today I'm going to teach you guys how to drive a stick shift.
Actually, I think we're going to do something with creating and updating a loan.
Oh, in Loanmark?
Yeah.
Again?
Again.
Can we ever do a video on anything other than Loanmark?
Yeah, we'll do one a little bit later.
Okay, let's get into it. You've told me that I get to take over some a little bit. It's my 15 minutes of fame. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to put my best foot forward in this video.
I hope you do. All right, we're going to go ahead and start by showing you how to create a new user. Basically, it's really easy. All you have to have is a first name, a last name, and an email address. And for this example, we're going to go ahead and just create a borrower really quickly. Type in the first and last name. Put in their email address.
And what happens, all the other contact information obviously is updated by the user the first time they log in.
That is correct. That's one of the great features about Loanmark. You don't have to continually add more and more information in. You just 3 things and you're done.
So we've created our borrower. Now I want to create a loan, and that goes the same way from creating every vendor. Same steps, just different user type.
Correct. Every user type is the same way. And if you go to create a loan here and you already have the borrower in, you can use the drop-down box here and select them. If not, you can just, again, put first and last name and email, and then click go to the next step. At this point, both the borrower and the loan were created at the same time.
Right, and going back to creating all users, Keith, do we have to create passwords for all of our users once they're created, or how does that work?
No, another great feature about Loanmark is that it automatically generates temporary passwords for all new users that are created.
Right, and from what I know and looking at this, once it creates that, they get that email, they get their temporary password, they click the link, they log in for the first time, they create their security passwords, right?
Correct.
And they update their contact information, change their password to something that they like, that they know, and then they're good to go.
That's correct.
Excellent. Very nice. Let's move along.
The first screen that you'll see, and this is your vendor selection. And basically, as you can see, for each user type, there's a drop-down box where you can just click on the drop-down and select the user if you've already inputted their information. If you haven't, again, you will go over to create a user and just simply create that user at this time.
Right, so this is just where you select all your vendors and everything else. You don't have to select every vendor all at once the first time you come to this page. As you're coming along and collecting who's going to do what, you can add them in.
That's correct.
Well, show me real quick how to remove a user once it's already saved, if you change title companies or whatever.
Okay, it's really easy. All you do is, again, click on the drop-down box. You'll see a remove user. Click on that, and then as you click save, you'll see the next time it comes back up, it's back to selecting the specific user type again.
And then you select your new one and you save it again and you're good to go.
Exactly.
Excellent. Well, I noticed at the top of the screen, and I know that it's this way throughout every page, throughout the edit screens of every loan, that choose the closing date up at the top. We put that there obviously for ease of use. As closing dates change and fluctuate, you can update it at any time. This automatically, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, again, I'm trying to put my best foot forward here. I don't want to misspeak, but when you choose that closing date, that's what sets the clock on your pipeline and dashboard views and the loan summaries, correct?
That is correct.
Very nice, very nice. So we choose a date, we click update, and you'll notice on the right-hand side at the right over there, it shows the new closing date that you've selected, and it counts down to that date. Man, that's great. So keep going, Keith. What's next?
All right, next, we'll just kind of quickly go through this. Here, obviously, you just input the information that it asks for, such as the subject, property, address, the sales price, and so forth. And then when you get down to your drop-down boxes for property type, property occupancy, you'll see these types of drop-down boxes throughout Loanmark. And simply, when you get Loanmark for the first time, it will not have any preloaded information in there. But what you can do is you can actually click the Create New button.
On any drop-down list throughout Loanmark.
Correct. And then you'll get a little pop-up box that allows you to, for this example, create a property type. And what you would like to do is...
Can we create hotel?
We can for this example.
Let's do hotel. I mean, I like hotels, and we can create one. Now, if I create hotel and I want it to always be in my drop-down list, I simply click Save Type as Template, and it will always be in my drop-down list forever.
That's correct.
If I only want to put it in one loan, don't click Save Type as Template, and it only adds it to this one loan.
Correct.
Man, that's really smart again. I like that. I'm feeling good about LoanMark and the ease of use. It looks like once you build your database, build your LoanMark, data entry on this is a breeze. It's going to go so fast.
It is, and we've designed it so it'll go quickly, and the more you use it, the less information you actually have to put in.
And the fact that other vendors are also entering their specific data, for instance, title companies and title attorneys are uploading title commitment. That's something that the lending staff or the mortgage staff never has to put in there.
That's correct. For example, the sales contract can actually be uploaded by the real estate agent, which is something that the loan staff will never have to touch. Once it's put in there, everybody's emailed to let them know that it is available.
Good. Well, let's talk about real quick while we're here, because I see it. A lot of these dates we have like date expected and dates received. Let's briefly explain how that works and what happens once one of those dates is entered.
Okay. For the date expected, this is the hard date that you're going to input for the date that you expect to get whatever the file might be. For this example, it's a sales contract. So you have spoken with your real estate agent and you expect to have the contract 3 days from today. So you would simply click on the little calendar, select 3 days from today, and it's going to save a hard date for that.
And also generate an upcoming milestone, which is going to make LoanMark email the real estate agent 2 or 3 days prior to it being due, reminding them the sales contract for that loan's due and all that.
That is correct. And
right.
As far as the received date goes, basically those are auto-filled as soon as this file is uploaded by you or someone else. As soon as it is uploaded, it will automatically generate the received date for you. We'll show you here. When you click the save button, it automatically populates that date for you.
Very nice. So you don't even have to enter most of the dates that are in here because it's automatically going to populate those.
Correct.
Well, we've seen a lot of different, we've seen the modal boxes where we update different list boxes and list drop-down boxes. I think where it starts to change a little bit and where it's not just entering fields and different choosing dates is down in the borrower's required documentation or the documentation required tab inside the origination. Let's go over that real quick.
Okay. What we'll do is I'll show you real quick another feature about LoanMark. If at any time you try to go somewhere without saving the information prior to changing the application, it will remind you that you're about to move without saving your changes. And it will prompt you to go back and save those changes, as you see here.
Very nice. Very nice. Fail-safes.
Fail-safes are always good.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even know how many times I've relied on fail-safes because I can't learn to do it correctly the first time. I don't know if you have that issue, but I do, so I like that.
I can imagine.
So borrowers require documentation. We're talking about bank statements, tax returns, the things you need from your borrower. And you create a new one here. Again, just like the drop-down list, if you save the document as a template, it will always be in your database. If you just want to add it to this loan, right?
Correct.
To this loan, do not click the Save as Template, and it just adds it to this loan.
Correct.
Now, once you've created one, then what do?
Once you've created one, if it's your first time creating it, it will automatically populate for you. If it's one that has been created in the past, you simply click the Attach Existing Documentation. The modal box will pop up, and then you can actually, by holding Control, select several different documents at the same time.
Very nice. So I don't have to actually go through, click one, save it, go back, click one, save it. If I know which ones I need, and there's 4, 5, 6, 7, select them all at once. It adds them to the loan, notifies my borrower. That's what we need. We're moving along.
Correct. As soon as you click the Add Selected Documents, it will automatically save for you, and as you can see, they will all be attached to your loan.
Very, very cool. Very cool. This is going to save me a lot of time.
Now, to move the loan along from the different stages, you can actually, once the origination stage is complete and you would like to move it to processing, simply click the Move to Processing button, and all the users involved will be emailed to notify them that the process is moving along.
We've said that it's moved from origination to processing there. We've updated the stage buttons on our pipeline and on our dashboard that now the loan is in processing. If we did it again and moved it to underwriting, it would happen again. And as we move along, we want to make sure that we show everybody that it's moving from stage to stage and moving further in the transaction.
Correct. Okay, now we're in the processing stage.
Well, before we move on, we've been working on this for a long time, and you said that I can take over and really train some folks and really put my best foot forward. Put me in, coach, because I'm ready. Can I do this?
All right, Paul, go for it. This is your time to do it if you mess up.
My 15 minutes of fame is right now. It starts changing a little bit in the process, Keith. Under like title info and homeowners insurance, you see mortgagee clause. Another modal box is here where we're going to be able to save every mortgagee clause that you have inside of LoanMark once you create them. And so you would create your clause by entering, like I'm doing now, whatever the mortgagee clause is. And as you go through that, you're going to be able to decide whether or not you want to save type as a template, or you're going to, and if you save it as a template, that mortgagee clause will forever be in your database, so you only have to select it not next time, not enter the whole mortgagee clause all over again. And so that's kind of cool. And once you create it for the first time, it automatically selects that mortgagee clause for that loan. And that's what's cool about it. Moving along, as you can see, there's different check boxes or boxes like you see here, Keith, under underwriting where it says loan approved with conditions. The check box is simply a yes or no question. Putting a check mark in the box makes it yes. Leaving it blank keeps it no. So if you wanted to tell everybody involved that the loan has been underwriting, however there's conditions, you can put that check box. It will then email everybody and say the loan's approved with conditions. Do you follow how that works?
Paul, you're doing absolutely great right now, and this is your big finish, okay? So no pressure, but
should I do a fake trumpet?
That was wonderful.
Excellent. Let's move on. Okay. The biggest thing in here, the next change, and the one thing we wanted to go over real quick for my big finish is the underwriting conditions. It works a little like the borrower's required documentation in that you create new conditions by entering that condition, the name of the condition here. And what we mean by name is you can name a group of conditions. For instance, if you put standard conditions, and then you type what your standard condition list is, whatever it may be. It could be 3 or 4 or 5 documents that are standard. You would then enter those conditions after you enter the name. If you save that again, that condition as a template, that same condition list will be available in LoanMark for you forever. So you can simply click that one name of those conditions and automatically populate all 4 or 5 of those documents attached. And if you click the magnifying glass next to the condition box, as you can see, those things that you wrote as part of those name conditions drop down below it. And those are displayed to your borrower, and they're automatically emailed. Now, is that doing a good enough job there, Keith?
Paul, you did a good job. My question is that the same for borrowers and insurance agents and appraisers?
Well, it's same functionality. However, when you create standard appraisal lists, they're saved only as the appraisal's conditions. For instance, you're not going to be able to access your lists for appraisals in the borrower conditions template.
All right, Paul, what you've done so far, you've done a great job.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just getting started on my grand finale's coming up now. If you look on the right hand of all the edit pages, you've seen your borrower's contact information, the closing date, the create new user button. You see recent files. That shows you files that have been recently uploaded and completed, listed there, as well as today's and upcoming milestones specific to this loan. So it always keeps you updated as to what's happened, what's been going on this loan, where are we in the process. And at the very bottom of the screen, you've got your entire loan contacts. Everybody who's associated inside that transaction is listed at the bottom. You can also see little links like return to pipeline there at the bottom right and the top right of the screen. That's going to take you back out to your pipeline. And there's other little icons throughout LoanMark, like the little pencil next to your borrower's name, that allows you to go in and take a look at your borrower's contact information. And you can actually change the borrower's contact information there and kind of quick link out to the edit that user's profile. At the bottom of every page, inside the loan contacts too, you see hyperlinks to emails. You can click that and automatically email that person, as well as you can click on their name, and where that's going to bring you is directly into edit that person's profile as well. So there's a lot of quick shortcuts in a loan to make sure that you can get to everywhere you need to go to fast and efficiently so you can get in and out of Loanmark with the least amount of data entry as possible.
Yeah, our engineers did a great job of making Loanmark extremely user-friendly.
They did, Keith. That's such a great statement. I got a quick question for you. Out of all of our user interface engineers, who's your favorite?
I'm going to have to go with Mark since the rest of them report to him.
Going with the boss man. It makes sense if the boss man would actually watch this video. But in the end, I guess good choice. You're so smart.
Yeah, and amazingly, you're not. But anyway, there's one more feature I'd like to point out, and that's the Move to Completion button. And this would be pushed at the point that the loan has gone all the way through the 4 stages and actually has closed. And what this is going to do is this is going to send out an email from the financial institution thanking the users for using Loanmark and participating in the loan with you. As you can see here, it comes up with today's milestone. It was a pleasure serving you.
I love being served.
Doesn't everybody?
And yeah, I'm telling you. It also sends a text message, if I'm not mistakenly, that it at that point too. And the other thing it does is it moves your loan from in the pipeline from loans in process down to the closed loans section of your pipeline, where it remains for that predetermined time that the administrator sets inside Loanmark. Am I correct on that?
That is correct.
Man, that's great. Anything else we need to add about Loanmark editing a loan? Anything that you want to add to this?
No, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Well, not for me. I got one question for you. If you were an edit stage inside Loanmark, which edit stage would you be?
Are we really going to do this again?
No, we don't have to. Let's just finish up.
Okay.
Okay, great. If you have any questions whatsoever about Loanmark at any time, remember you can email us support@loanmark.com. You can also get on our website at www.loanmark.com/support.